I held a playtest for my upcoming game, and honestly, it went okay. Some of it was positive, although some of it was negative. In this video, I want to go over the most valuable things I learned from the playtest that you can apply to your own game. A little bit of an intro: if you don't know, I'm working on my next game, Maha Island, which is a horror game where you're stranded on a mysterious island and hunted by a massive sea monster that stalks the waters. You can go around in your boat, go fishing and upgrade your boat, talk to the locals, and piece together why the monster appeared, all whilst trying to survive long enough to take it down and escape. It's kind of like a combination of Dredge and Choo Choo Charles if you've ever played those games. I've been building it in my spare time and I thought the game was in decent shape, but obviously I'm going to be a bit biased, which is why I wanted to hold a playtest and get some feedback. First of all, let's go over how I collected people for the playtest. You may have seen I posted on my channel that I was looking for some people to help me test my game. That was good as it got some people to sign up to help me test the game. Although I didn't want people only from my audience to play the game, as they may be biased and help me because they already know who I am. So as well as posting on this channel, I had some people sign up from the playtest from the Steam page. I have a separate YouTube channel which is just about my game studio, and I collected some people from the playtest from there. And I also posted on Reddit and I had some people sign up from there. I also found a few people to sign up from TikTok. I wanted it not to be entirely my own channel because then it may be a bit biased. And then for the playtest window, I kept it short. It opened on Friday and then I closed it the following Monday. I made it clear that this was just a closed playtest and not a permanent release. And then within my game, I had a form which people could fill out to give me feedback. And I also made a Discord where people can give me feedback about the game. Okay, so in total, I sent around 100 keys. Only 59 of those keys were redeemed, and then only 50 people played the game, and then of those 50 people, only around like 18 people filled out the survey, although some people just messaged me privately on Discord, so around 20 something people gave me feedback. So just keep that in mind, the funnel matters. Not everyone who plays the game is going to give feedback, and because I made the playtest private, because I didn't want to make it public, only some people ended up redeeming those keys. So you're going to lose people at each stage, although the 20 something people that gave me feedback found like every bug and even gave me suggestions. So in total, I do think I had enough people to help me improve the game massively. Okay, let's get into the feedback. We'll start with what people didn't like and what people did like. Okay, so the first problem was people did not know how to pause the game or change the settings of the game. So because I use Unreal Engine, and you'll know, if you play a game in the Unreal Engine editor, if you press escape, that normally closes the editor. Because of that, I made it so if you wanted to pause the game, you press P. And I actually thought that was pretty common knowledge, although clearly I do not play PC games enough, because loads of people expected it to be binded to the escape button. So people did not know how to pause the game or change the settings. I binded it to the P key. Obviously I knew this, but not everyone did. So I made it so you can also press the escape key to pause the game. Next, there were some issues with my sounds. People did not like the sound effect for walking on the sand, and the jump was too high. I just used the default first person controller and the jump was very high. People found this a bit weird for the type of game I was making. And then this one was kind of a mixed bag. Some people got stuck with what to do. At the start of the demo, I do make it clear there's this NPC who tells you what to do, although people were still saying they got stuck and they didn't know what to do, although some people said they did know what to do. So I went ahead and I've made the controls more clear. The way I've done that is when I want the player to know a very specific control, like opening the map or knowing how to fish, I completely pause the game, I show the player the control, and I force them to press this OK button. That way, they are forced to know the control. And then they made a good point. Once the NPC gives you a mission, you can't speak to them again. So I'm going to make the NPC repeat the mission if you speak to him again, because some people were unclear with what to do. And then for a horror game, they said the atmosphere needs to be darker, which I completely overlooked. This is a horror game. Why did I make it so it's so light? So I immediately have made it so the atmosphere is darker, and that already has improved the game's feel. it feels more like a horror game. Just look at how it was before and look at how it is now. And then another thing I did was I added some blood to the monster's teeth on my game. Look at the monster before and now. Just adding a little bit of blood to its teeth, I think has made it look a lot more scary. And the one tester, I think because she said she's actually like a game tester before, so I got lucky with this. So she's like play tested games before and given them feedback. So she knows what to look for. And she made like a really good point. So in my game, because you can fish, I made it so there's a chance that you can fish up the monster. Although when you fish up the monster, if you fail, I made it so you die. And I thought this was pretty cool. Although she gave me a suggestion which massively helped me improve it. If you fail it, instead of instantly dying, you should have like a chance to survive. And she gave more detail on what I should implement. So I've now made it so if you fail that event, instead of just dying, your screen is going to shake aggressively and then you have to mash on your keyboard to try and survive. And I think this just adds more tension and it makes the game better. Now let's get into what people did like. People really did like this fishing minigame that I made, and I actually think I'm going to make a video on how I made it, because I went through like 3 fishing systems to end up with the fishing system that I finally used in the game. And then, like I said, I had a survey, and of the 18 people that filled out the survey, 12 out of 18 people said they'd recommend it. So that's like a 66% recommendation rate. They gave a list of bugs that they found and suggestions. So I'm going to work on fixing that, because ideally I'd have like 80% of people enjoy it, or even 100%. People also did say they liked the concept and the monster's design. They did say they wish there was a bit more to do in the demo, so I have since added an additional monster and some more lore with another island you can find, which will be in the final demo. There were some other bugs and suggestions, but they were more specific to the game, so I'm not going to cover them because I'm just trying to provide suggestions which may be applicable for like mini games. So, looking back, I would do a few things a bit differently. First of all, about a week before I launched this private beta, someone reached out to me about this analytical tool called Track Edge, which basically allows you to add in-game analytics. So you can add trackers to see things like where players quit. I can add trackers to see how far people progressed. Because not every player gives feedback, adding an in-game analytical tool would be very helpful, because you could see how players were actually playing the game. I hadn't even considered it. So when I release the public demo of this game, I think I'm going to have a in-game analytical tool so I can track what players do, because not every player will give you feedback. Okay, so what's next? So next I'm going to just work on polishing up and improving the game. Like I said, I've already improved some things like the atmosphere, and then once I've done that, I'm going to release a demo and I will see how that does. And then I'll probably make a video on how the demo went. That's all for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!